Hey everybody, Peter here from MNN, here to give you a little follow-up report from Kanami's big announcement of her signature model PRS guitar. It was publicly announced on the 20th, but there was actually another announcement prior only to those who had attended the PRS show talk this past Sunday. So I want to just kind of recount my personal eyewitness experience and just kind of fill you guys in on maybe little details that maybe you didn't get. So this happened November 17th, last Sunday or this past Sunday, and I was fortunate enough to have gotten a ticket from a supporter, subscriber, and fan of Bandmate. His name is Dimas. He is from Indonesia, so thank you again so much for that. It turned out that he couldn't make it out. He had a flight, unfortunately, at 4 p.m. that day, and the talk started at 3. So there's a pretty good chance he would miss his flight. Although some of us would think that it's worth it, I looked out. So thank you once again so much, and also for the keychains and the little snacks and goodies. So thank you so much. I hope you're well, and I hope to see you again. So the talk itself, the PRS Vintage Guitar Show, was at a place called Shibuya Stream Hall, which is pretty much in the heart of Shibuya. Shibuya isn't the largest place, but it is jam-packed with tons of venues, stores, people, tourists, you name it. I got there about 2:40-ish, which is good because I thought and considered maybe I should get there earlier, but had I gone there earlier, I really would have had not much to do. So I got there around between 2:30 and 2:40, went up the flight of steps, went up the escalator, and as I got off, who do I see? I see Hawk Metal. If you guys don't know, Hawk Metal is a massive, genuine Bandmate fan who has done a lot of great stuff over the years, including translations. So it was good to see him again. And then he kind of disappeared, and then I followed him, stalking. He was going up the escalator, and I said, "Hey, what's up? Good to see you. Is that where the talk is?" He's like, "Yeah, it's right up there." So I followed him up, and the room itself was actually overflowing at the time. People were standing outside of the room. I can't even really give you a guesstimate of how many people there were. But Paul Reed Smith himself was talking, so it was jam-packed. I saw some familiar faces, and also the guitarist of Jungfrau, which is a small indie band here in Tokyo. They've been on hiatus, but I saw them. I really like them, and I'm hoping I can do an interview with them sometime if they ever come back. But I knew the guitarist, so I said, "Oh, hi, man." She's like, "Oh, hi." So we just talked a little bit. She also plays the PRS, and she was chosen as a Pulse artist for PRS, so that was really cool too. So wishing her the best. And PRS's talk ended. Do I call him PRS? Do I call him Paul R. Smith? Do I call him Mr. Smith? The talk ended. People start slowly coming out. And had I known that people wouldn't be sticking around up towards the front, I would have sat closer. But I thought, oh, I guess they're sticking around for Kanami's talk. So some people got some pretty good seats. Bandmate fans, for sure, with the t-shirts, and you see these faces everywhere. I was about midway. Sat next to a gentleman by the name of Alan. Some of you may know him. He knows himself. I'm sure he's watching. On the stage, it really felt like it was a red carpet moment because people were just taking photos with their phones. On the stage were 3 of Kanami's guitars. It was her first PRS. It was the green Trampus, or Trampus, I guess as you would say in Japanese, colored guitar. In the middle was the red Angry Larry Custom, which she had been playing for maybe only about a year, not too long. And then next to that, on the other side, was her private stock. Very lovely, just amazing, very expensive. So we all took shots, we all took photos, and then we sat down, we waited. So Kanami did finally come out, And when she came out, I noticed maybe she had looked up first, but all these people in front of me were turning around and looking up. So I thought, mm. So I looked up and I was like, oh, it's Akane. So I caught a glimpse of her. They were on sort of the second floor. It was kind of a covered balcony. So you could only see maybe, I don't know, this much, like this much, maybe torso-ish. And I think it was a pretty tight, narrow space too, because when the girls were walking out and in, the other maids, like part of their bodies was kind of like, like showing, almost like a bunker. So anyhow, during the talk, a lot of turning around. Every time people in front of me turned around, I turned around. I was like, nothing, nothing, nothing. But Kanami definitely looked up a lot to get a lot of support. I figured that because she was speaking, I didn't know that they would make the big announcement of her signature guitar model, but I figured even though the other maids had tweeted, oh, we wish her the best, it's going to be her first talk in a while by herself, I did get the feeling that they would be there, and they were. They didn't let us down. They didn't let me down. So they start talking. She shares about how she came across the PRS. And this is very typical of Kanami, but she chooses things based upon what she thinks is best for bandmate, not for her, but for bandmate. And she talks like that a lot. If you've watched other interviews or read other interviews, I chose this because it was bandmate's sound, or this is the sound I thought bandmate would want. So, she was thinking about what would be a good bandmate sound. And so she was sharing how, well, they do hard rock, there's mid-tempo, not as many as there are now after Conqueror, and also with Epic Narratives. But she was thinking about what's best. So hard rock, mid-tempo, ballads, and she chose a PRS. So she talked a lot about that. She shared also how it was just the feel. Kanshoku, it was the feel of it, just the neck, and it just felt right. And I think for those of us who play instruments, I myself play guitar and a few other things, but when you hold the neck, some necks just feel better than others. Not like not a neck. Maybe you do that too. I don't know. Don't share that below. So yeah, it was cool to hear her talk, and I just kind of wish we had heard more of her. Just a lot more of her talking, her stories, but we didn't get quite a chance for that. But then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, we have a big announcement to make. And then the minute I hear announcement, I'm like, oh my gosh, is this it? Is this what all of us have been waiting for, or a lot of us have been waiting for, anticipating? Limited edition Kanami Mincho PRS signature model, and the first Japanese signature model ever. And this has been honored to Kanami. Amazing, because there's a lot of people that play PRS here, and for Konami to be awarded that, I mean, it says something about that, about the reach that she has now and the influence that she has now, and people are aware. So in the same way that Miku really made a name for Zemaitis in a way that I don't think they could have without her. I mean, genuinely speaking, I don't think many people would even know about Zemaitis had it not been for Miku. So she was awarded the Kloopy Pigeon. She was awarded the Flappy Pigeon. And then the Black Smoker signature from Risa. And we have the Akane sticks, the Kanami signature sticks from Vincent. And now we finally have Mincho, who I think a lot of people think she's the most deserving, right? Again, not to make light of any of the other mates, like not that at all. But I think when people think like someone who really just pushes themselves and has really done some new things, incredible things, and just the spectrum, the breadth of what she's done. I think Kanami has really done something special. It was an awesome announcement, and then lo and behold, Paul Reed Smith himself comes out with the guitar. He's a tall dude, very happy, smiley, congenial, really warm. He really comes across as just a really cool, warm, genuine guy. So he comes out, and Kanami, just being Kanami, is just and you can hear her like crying. You can see her crying. And there's actually a tweet where she mentioned that Akane was crying as well with her. I'm sure the other maids were really emotional as well. But yeah, it was such a cool thing. And, Kanami turning into this little girl, just very sweet and weepy, and oh, thank you so much. He hugs her. He ends up giving her a high five, which I think actually that was the replay. So it was really interesting because he's just sharing, like, this is the first Japanese signature model guitar. She was just like, thank you so much, and such an honor. And then because she was kind of weepy, he's like, let's do that again. So he grabs the guitar from Kanami, goes back off stage, and then comes back out. And then she's like, she follows along, she plays along, she's like, thank you. And then the high five, I believe. It's special because I think we know how deserving she is of it. And we know how much she's always striven to be a guitar hero. She wants to really do something historic. Like, she's always been that way. And so it's cool for her to receive that. And even in following tweets, she shared how she thinks that she'll cry if she ever sees someone actually playing it.
カナミシグネチャーモデルを弾いてくれる方が、いらっしゃるということで、それを想像するともうすごく感動しちゃいます。もし目の前でそれを見てしまったらもう泣いちゃうかもしれないです。
And I believe her. I genuinely believe her. Now, the one thing, actually, so the color itself is Trumpus Green Smoke Burst. And all I kept on hearing was Trumpus Green. I'm like, okay, what is this Trumpus Green? Like, is this a word I'm supposed to know? Have I heard this before? Am I stupid? Like, I'm like trying so hard. Like, what does this mean? And then later finding out it's a word I've never heard before in my life. The reason why that color was chosen is because her first PRS was a Trumpus Green color. And this one is Trumpus Green Smoke Burst. So it's a bit more gray in there. For those who have been following, you know that SJ actually did purchase his, or it's on back order, pre-order. And so you're definitely going to get a video from us about that. So congratulations, SJ, to everyone else who bought it. People asked me, Peter, did you buy yours? I'm like, no, I don't have money. But thanks for asking. It's about $6,600 US dollars. I believe that's with tax, or is that without tax? But yeah, it does seem like it's sold out, more or less, although there are a few just sort of hanging out in the wilderness. So if you look hard enough, you just may find one. Now, is it a faux pas? No, the mistake, the slip that I made during the announcement was, I'm sitting there, there's an announcement being made, and I thought, you know what? I'll be like those guys at those Apple announcements or at Comic-Con when they're announcing something big and new. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so cool. So I tweeted out and I said, oh, Kanami's, PR signature model is coming out. It's the first Japanese model. And I tweeted that out really quickly. And then after I tweeted that out, about 2 minutes later, they said, oh, we're going to make an official announcement in a few days on the 20th. So if you could not talk about it or let people know. So it's like, ah. So I rushed. I was like, oh my gosh. This is, oh man. Again, I thought I was doing my duty as a bandmate fan, letting other fans know because we all love knowing everything as soon as possible. But yeah, those kind of announcements, they should let you know prior. But anyhow, that was my little mistake. I did delete it 3 minutes after I had posted it, and I think I'm okay if Eminem never does get an interview with Bandmate. This could be one of the reasons. I don't know. I'm sorry, SJ. But even tonight, actually, Kanami tweeted out that she used the signature model during dress rehearsal or rehearsal, one rehearsal, and she really likes it. So she said it may become her main guitar in the future. So if you do attend the Bandmate show, you most likely will be seeing it. I don't know about the last two ZEP shows, which are Monday and Tuesday, the 25th and 26th. But I'm pretty sure 2025 is looking very Trumpus Green Smoke Bursty. All right, guys, that was just my little report, my little eyewitness account of what went down. And I do hope to see photos of you guys. If you guys do end up buying one and getting ones, post it somewhere. Bandmate Fans Cafe, post it on Twitter, wherever you can, Instagram, so we can just see it and appreciate it and just envy the hell out of you guys. So, all right, guys, that is it for now. You guys enjoy yourselves. More Bandmate stuff to come. This has been Peter from MNN. You guys take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye.
ましたもうこれほど嬉しいことはないなって思いました時にいつかは私自身のシグネチャーモデルを作りたいっていう夢はあったんですけど現実になった途端本当にもう涙が止まらなかったです